No, we don't have liftoff.
Following up. Roger, roll, Atlantic. Flight outside of speed off. Yikes. You bet. Okay. We don't need any more of these.
We need some more of something, folks. Hey, you know the drill. We had an entire thing set up, and we're doing it anyways. Here you go. Let me know if you can hear us, and let me know if you can see a jet engine intake. At least one jet engine intake. Oh, two jet engine intakes. Look at that. There are two of them now, and if we keep going back out, that's three jet engine intakes and a logo. And two cockpits? Why are there two cockpits on this thing? Folks, we are live with video from Mojave Air and Spaceport out in California with a view of the rock, the Stratolaunch system, which had an opportunity to go for a little bit of a flight today. Unfortunately, that has been scrubbed. So the NASA Spaceflight team rolled out. We were ready to bring you live coverage of the world's largest aircraft by wingspan, taking off and potentially landing with some other cool stuff happening. And unfortunately, the weather did not cooperate. Out in the field, I think we've got Jack on comms, and back in the studio, we've got Michael Beyer. Jack, what's going on, dude? You rolled out there. It looks like a beautiful day. What gives?
I think it's a weather issue in terms of weather, not right now necessarily, but at landing or further on in the flight. I think it was supposed to be a fairly long flight schedule today, several hours. So, you know, even though the wind is nice right now and the weather is nice right now, later on in the day it might not have been quite so nice. So I think there's opportunities for them to fly all week. But, I mean, Das, you know, you don't, just because the cake's not going to fly today, you don't just leave the cake on the table and not eat it. I mean, come on, right?
We had rolled Jack had rolled all the way out there. We didn't roll Jack. He's not like a wheelbarrow. Jack rolled out. He set up both a robot and his own crewed camera, and we were going to have multiple views of this today. Permission from Stratolaunch and Mojave to be there on, it's not really the apron, just inside the fence at the airport. And we can get some amazing views of this thing here, but it is not happening. Jack.
Yeah, don't call my camera crude. It's very advanced.
That's the problem with that. I wasn't going to say like a manned camera, but then it's a crude camera.
No, you did right. There's the right call there, but I'm just making a stupid dad joke. You know me.
The operated camera. I'm not exactly sure what I should be saying, but anyways, how is it looking like? What were we expecting to see here today, Jack? I mean, you're there on the run. Well, not exactly on the runway. You're just off the side of the runway. It was going to go right by you when it takes off. What were we expecting to see?
Basically that. You know, they would right now. Stratolaunch out front, and they had the APUs started up a little while ago. They just shut them down as we went live. So we would have expected them to push Stratolaunch back onto runway 30, sort of get to the end of the runway, do a pre-flight, and then take off, go right past it, and hopefully I'll be positioned nicely so that as it rotates, the industry term for the front nose wheels coming off. Think of the craft rotating as it lifts into the air. That's what we're looking for. A nice side on as it rotates. But unfortunately, not today. But like I said, opportunities all week, even though we do look challenging. So just figured, why not come out here and give it a try anyways? It was looking good earlier. I don't know if the weather deteriorated or what. I haven't been looking at it too closely, but obviously they have because they fly today.
Yeah. So, folks, that is what's going on. We don't want to bait and switch anyone. You can see that we changed the title and everything. But right now, we were all set to share a flight of the world's largest aircraft, the Rock, the Stratolaunch system, supposed to strap a rocket between these two fuselage segments. Isn't this like two 747s that they strap together or something like that? What are these fuselages?
Yeah, it's at least the cockpits are 747 cockpits, and the engines are 747. But the rest of the thing is a giant one-off carbon fiber master from Scaled Composites. It's another company out here in Mojave. Famous aircraft designer Burt Rattan's company, kind of like a pioneer and wizard in the use of composites. So same designer, the spacecraft company and Scaled Composites both worked on, I believe, Spaceship One and the carrier aircraft there for Virgin Galactic. So, and I think Scaled Composites did work on Cosmic Girl as well, if I'm not mistaken. So, super prolific company, and that's why this thing looks like it does, because it's sort of a, I don't know. They've made a couple, well, not a couple. They made a lot of interestingly designed aircraft. If you ever want to, you know, do it, fall down a Wikipedia hole, definitely give Scaled Composites a Google. But I think the official name of the rock is, like this, at least the Scaled Composites name is like, um, it stalls while he Googles. It's like it's Scaled Composites Model 531 or something like that. So,
Gotcha. So
but
so a
yeah,
big custom aircraft basically because it's two planes sort of strapped to each other and the cradle area between the two fuselages are going to actually strap a rocket or something onto it. It could be used for other things as well, right?
yeah, they have
Um
a family of hypersonic vehicles that they are
yeah.
working on. The first one being Talon. I don't know why I said it. So I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Um, so yeah, they're working on hypersonic vehicles, and so at one point they were going to be launching Pegasus rockets,
Yep.
and that they sort of transitioned to from a launch services company to a hypersonic testing company. So the idea is they'll be able to do rapid deployment of the Talon vehicle, and if you have a payload that you're trying to get tested out or what have you, throw it on Talon and do some research. That's my understanding. And
Okay,
uh,
time out. Is it Talon or
Talon,
Talon?
I don't know.
Talon?
I'm slightly
Talon.
I'm slightly tired. I didn't have enough coffee. Yes. Talon. No question. I'll have to ask.
By the way, y'all, we sent the Zoom cameras today too. We could see the pilots actually going through checklists in the cockpit there, in one of the cockpits earlier. Jack, do people ride in both sides, or do they just ride on one side?
Just on the one side. The other side
Just on the one side.
is unpressurized, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha. It's just like for looks over on the other side, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I think there's instrumentation and stuff over there, but I don't think it's able to be crewed. But I could be wrong. That was my understanding last I told you about it a while back.
Gotcha. They like took the seats out or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can see actually the crew working inside. It also almost look like a piece of paper up there on the dash or something. He dropped the checklist. Do they have to? Is he like putting his parking sticker out or something? It looks like it. Anyways, folks, again, I'm going to keep repeating this just so he knows, or so everybody knows what's going on. We were standing by to share a flight, live views of the flight, multiple camera angles, live from Mojave Air and Spaceport out in California. Jack rolled out with a robotic companion, and we were going to have two different angles of this takeoff. And unfortunately, that flight was scrubbed. Right now, the weather looks fantastic, but they were going to do a ton of testing and maneuvers today. They were going to be up for a couple hours. And while the weather at takeoff was good, the weather at landing was not looking so great. That's my understanding of the conditions. And they decided that they were not going to take off. It's a massive aircraft. You don't play around with it. Largest aircraft in the world by wingspan. And you just do not fly this thing. You got to get it up in the air safely, but you also want to get it back down on the ground safely. So we did get official word from our people there at Mojave that it would not be taking off. And it looks like that is is that like the gantry to get the crew out or something? The air
Yep.
stairs or whatever. Not a
Yeah,
gantry, I
that's what
guess.
it looks like. Air stairs are going up. Crew will be coming out. And quick update: I was slightly wrong with the model number. It's a Scaled Composites 351, not 53. That's my bad.
Gotcha. Good Googling.
Yeah, right.
So that's interesting. Maybe that may be like a service thing or something because they're putting it on the far side, Jack. It's
Yeah,
not
they
on the
just
near side.
a couple minutes ago they had a scissor lift go up and work on one of the engines. Maybe they're doing some sort of operation on the engines there. I guess
Yeah.
looking closer now, yeah, there's already air stairs on the crew side, and the
Yeah.
is walking
Looks
off.
like a pilot walking right now, right?
Yep,
Like a
sure
flight
enough.
suit. Yeah, so
So,
that may be like a service thing. They're gonna get a mechanic up there or somebody servicing the aircraft or disconnecting something or something along those lines, I guess. I
yep,
don't know what's on that side over there.
just more
Uh
engine, lots more engine.
yeah, Jack, take it over. I'm gonna go over and help with the tech thing real quick. If you could just talk about what's going on.
I can try to find some questions for you, Jack, if you
Yeah,
want.
good deal. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Michael, throw me some questions. I'm sure people have a lot of questions about this aircraft. It looks a lot different than, well, any aircraft anybody has probably seen before, and Fun fact while you dig around for questions, the original purpose of Stratolaunch was to launch or at least the thinking was they would launch something called the Falcon Air, which was sort of like a airborne Falcon 5, but that did not pan out. Obviously, history is a little bit different than, the potential outcome of that bit of history is a little bit different than what actually happened. But still a use for this magnificent vehicle. So, what do you got for questions? Throw some at me.
Why do they need two pilots and two co-pilots to fly a plane? I'm guessing they're asking because there are two cockpits.
No, I think it's just one flight crew on the one side.
Yes, the right side of the plane, the right-hand cockpit, is the one that I guess it depends on which way you're facing it. But if you're sitting in a plane, you're on the right-hand side. Jared, thank you for the hashtag when kayak Jack in a kayak super chat. And then Rough Rider says shortest live stream ever. I don't think it's going to be shorter than the Starlink scrub a couple of launches back, but definitely unfortunate that it scrubbed right when we announced the live stream.
Yep. What can you do?
Do we have a photo of the cockpit?
I don't think so. That is something I would love to shoot at some point.
What is the point of this aircraft? What purpose does it serve?
It is going to launch a hypersonic test vehicle, at least one at first. They're working on one. They have a whole family of them that they're building. And yeah, that's the current purpose. They obviously, this being or today, if it had been the second flight, it only would have been flight 2. So they're still working out the testing of the carrier vehicle itself while simultaneously working on the rocket that it's going to drop. They've shown some renders and whatnot, and I believe some like wind tunnel models of the Talon vehicle, and it'll just be a matter of time until we get good views of it up close with some nice photos. But right now, just testing the vehicle. Its purpose is to exist and fly well. Eventually, its purpose will be to drop the Talon and other vehicles, do work as a hypersonic test vehicle.
Is there a crew access between the fuselages?
No, I don't think so. like some kind of crawlway in the wing. Do not think that is a thing. But I do not know that for sure. But I'm pretty surprised if somebody told.
And one interesting thing, Jack, is on their website they still do have something called black ice in their long-term roadmap. And black ice is supposed to be a single-stage to orbit reusable spacecraft capable of flying humans. I'm not sure if that's ever going to happen, actually, but it is on the roadmap for now. So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, there's Talon A, there's Talon Z, is in, I guess Zulu is the NATO, and then there's Black Ice. So that's the sort of the family of vehicles that they have on the table that are possible. I think right now the main focus is Talon A.
And of course, today's test flight had not been scrubbed, it was just a test flight of the aircraft, so there was going to be no launch. But looking forward to seeing a Talon A test flight in the future. Talon A is a reusable hypersonic test flight, so the entire system is reusable, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, right. I mean, I know we're all big fans of reuse. If we're going to push into the hypersonic realm, whether it's with point-to-point passenger vehicles or what have you, we're going to need to do some more research on that flight regime because it's so intense, so harsh, on the vehicles, the heating that they encounter. So that's just something that will, have to be researched further. And this is part of the piece of, one of the puzzle pieces that will help us gain more knowledge in that area.
Do we know how high it's going to fly before they drop off Talon A?
I do not know off the top of my.
I think according to their website, I think it's a little over 35,000 feet. So similar to Virgin Galactic's Cosmic Grill. It's not like they're trying to get extra high with this plane. Just going to a normal cruising altitude for a 747 or a aircraft built with 747 components, and then letting go of the spacecraft or hypersonic test vehicle, or whatever it is that they're launching.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, we're getting a lot of questions about Ingenuity. One person's asked why we did not cover it. We did We are going to cover it. There should be an article on our website shortly. But if you're asking why we did not go live, it's because we did not really know what to expect. I think they just had a live stream of them getting the data confirmation, which does not take long, but rest assured, we will discuss Ingenuity's test flight on this week's NSF Live, and there will be an article on our website shortly. But yes, that was super exciting. Just no live video from Mars of something flying in real time. So that is why. And if you have questions, keep tagging us in chat. Jack is on site right now at the Mojave Air and Spaceport in California.
Yeah, and I've hopped back over as well, and I think we've got one more person here to help us with some of the Q&A you were talking about there. Chris, do we have you on comms right now?
I do believe you do. Hello, everyone.
All right, so we are now joined also by Chris Gebhardt, Assistant Managing Editor for NASA Spaceflight. And like we said, folks, we know that this is a scrub. We're just doing some Q&A here, talking about it. We're doing some technical checks on the back end as well, so we know whether or not we can stream from Mojave Air and Spaceport here. But Chris is going to be helping us with some of the questions that are coming in. Thanks for hopping in, Chris.
Indeed, good to be here.
It looks like, from a technical perspective, it looks pretty good right now. DOS, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, we've got really good control over the robotic camera. This is actually the long-range robotic camera that you've seen on the hotels down at South Padre. And Jack took this camera back to California when he went back, and specifically so that we could roll it out for a stream like this. And so we've got good control over it, and it does have some pretty serious zoom as well. So our signal from Mojave and all of our technical stuff that allows us to make the streams happen is looking good for future coverage, I think.
Yeah, at the very least, it's a good test today, and we can bring our viewers a little bit something different.
Yeah,
We always go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I need finer control over this robotic camera because this is the minimum setting, and it's a little bit fast. It moves a little bit too fast for me. So, anyways,
Yeah, we cover more stuff than just Starship. So here's the proof is in the pudding. We do cover more stuff than Starship.
Jack, this is Jack's second non-Starship stream in a week. So
yeah, it's been a busy one. And we've also got in the same week, in the next 7 days, we've got what is it, NRO 82, 81? 82, thank you. That's going to be a Delta Heavy out of Vandenberg, so that's going to be interesting. And we will just have to wait and see how Starship fits into all of that. My head is kind of a pretzel right now, but we'll figure it out.
Yep, and I mean, I was hoping to see this one in person, so we'll see when the new test flight date is. I'm glad I did not drive down today with the parent scrub, but hopefully, whenever this flies, I'll be able to make it. Give us another camera angle.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I've got some ideas for where we can plop you and get some really cool stuff for takeoff.
This has to not be tomorrow or Wednesday, most likely, because it cannot conflict with Starship. That's the problem. I have to be home to support our Starship streams.
yeah.
Yep. And
Well, maybe don't wish for it to be Thursday either, considering we're going to be up all night.
Oh,
before.
geez, yeah.
Well, I think actually though, DOS could probably manage. It wouldn't be fun, but you could probably manage a crew to stream without me because we don't have a huge fleet of robots to also control. But it would not be ideal.
Yeah, geez, thanks. Just throw me under the bus there.
I mean, the Starship streams are like 2 or 3 people minimum required to operate them these days. But
yeah, I completely agree with that. There's a ton involved with the Starship streams. Something like a little old crew launch from American rockets on American soil, etc., etc. With international crew, by the way. It's not American astronauts, just American astronauts. It's international crew on American rockets from American soil. How's that? But
Love it.
little old stream like that, not a big deal.
just one camera and a live stream to pull. That's it. Anyway, keep tagging us with questions. Is the aircraft used to launch rockets, Jack?
Yes, it is used. It will be. It has not been yet.
Jack, we got a battery alert on your camera.
Oh, fun. I'll get that changed out.
Good times. Thank you.
That is a tracking dish, it looks like.
I was looking at the tracking dish while we were on Jack's camera, and then Jack's battery died, and so, well, here you go. It is a tracking dish on a trailer with what looks to be a generator and some battery there. So, can we get one of these for Boca Chica? That'd be nice.
Yes,
Chris?
so the aircraft, to give a more detailed answer, the
Right.
aircraft is used to launch rockets. It was going to launch the Falcon 5, which is a 5-engine variant of the Falcon 9. Then they moved to Pegasus rockets. That has now been scrapped, and now they're building their own Talon A rocket, which will be a hypersonic test bed. So, no orbital launch plans in the near future, but they do have an orbital rocket called Black Ice on their long-term roadmap. Can you show the size of the runway, Doss? Do you want to pan this robot so you can see the runway?
Yeah, actually, here, I'm going to start all the way over at the hangar here. And we didn't have the robot completely leveled, so as we pan around, you'll notice that. But there is the hangar that fits this thing. And if we pan, I'm going to go a little fast here so we can get all the way around in some reasonable amount of time. I believe it would be taking off from down there.
That one right there in front of us.
Yeah.
It was headed to the left. So you can get some awesome photos from this perspective of the aircraft taking off with the mountains in the background.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of tails sticking up over there. What are those tails sticking up? Let's find out.
NASA Spaceflight investigates.
That is what you call the boneyard, where aircrafts go to get boned.
Wait, what? Look at that. Are these like decommissioned?
Yep, they're decommissioned, retired aircraft, which is why there's so many 747s, because the 747 is kind of falling out of favor.
I was going to say before we zoomed in, I was like, it's either that or it's the 737 Max. We don't know what to do with them yet. Holding areas.
They did store a bunch of 737 Maxes here when they were out of service, but they're being reintroduced into service, so I'm not sure if there's any left.
I don't know. Did they store the 737 Maxes here, or did they store them at Victorville?
I thought it was both. I could be wrong.
Maybe it might have been. I might have been both. I never came out and shot the giant parking lot of. Oh well.
That is a lot of 747s sitting.
Yeah. There's only been more gathering too, as the effects of the pandemic have resulted in airlines scrapping, or retiring more and more and more aircraft. So the boneyard out here has definitely. It'd be really fun sometime as a different type of stream, like do like a boneyard. Like I don't know if that would fit on our. It's cool. It's a cool thing, even though it's kind of sad that those aircraft aren't going to be flying anymore.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, in the same way that seeing an L-1011 or something is a rarity, seeing a 747 that's got passengers on it will be a rarity. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around.
They just keep going. All the tails that are about the same size are mostly 747s. You can see some teeny tiny scrapped planes in the front. Look at that. There's like a cockpit ticked over sideways, and then like some tails and stuff cut off and stuff just sitting in the foreground there. But the 747,
it's like what planes look like after you're trying to learn how to land in Kerbal Space.
Yeah, it's just like a cockpit sitting sideways. Look
Jack,
at that.
Is Stargazer here right now? The L-1011.
It is. So if you want, you're gonna have to look at me.
Okay.
So left.
Okay, I think I can find you. Turn to the left.
Yeah, look at the control tower. Find the control tower, and Stargazer is basically directly in front of it.
By the way, those planes are very big, and they're a long way away. So let's see here. Oh, is that you over there, Jack?
Yep.
Oh, is the control tower more to the left here?
It.
Like behind you?
Almost.
Is that? It's on the right.
It's on the right.
That building. On the right of the building.
Yes, correct.
There we go. Okay, the control tower is way over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see Stargazer right there, sort of at the base of it, in the unmistakable S duct.
Yeah.
So what's crazy is that all three of the world's aircraft or rocket launched aircraft all have their carrier aircraft based out of Mojave right now. So you've got Northrop Grumman's Stargazer L-1011 that launches the Pegasus rocket, and they have an upcoming launch out of Vandenberg. And then behind the rock right now is Virgin Orbit's Cosmic Girl 747 carrier aircraft for Launcher 1.
I'll see if I can find that one too. But there's Stargazer right there.
Yeah, and before Virgin Galactic transferred their operation to Spaceport America over in New Mexico, Virgin Galactic's carrier aircraft was built here, was flown here, and so Mojave is kind of a hotspot for air launch. It's a big deal out here, and that's part of the reason why I love Mojave Air and Spaceport so much. If you want rocket launching plane, this is the place to come.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Virgin Galactic's carrier aircraft is not currently here, but the Spaceship 3 that they just unveiled was built here, correct, Jack?
Yeah, they build the spaceships here, and they build the carrier aircrafts here. Actually, that building that's to the left of that we were just at, that's to the left of the control tower, is the spaceship. That's the Virgin Galactic's company. That if I'm not, well, now I'm second guessing myself. Either way, yeah, that's where they build them.
Company, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can find the Virgin Galactic Virgin. I always get those mixed up. Why do they have to have so many different company names? Oh, it looks like a fuel truck has blocked our. Whoa. Sorry, that's all me. Normally we just don't stay on this camera, but I'm just showing all of me jumping the camera to different angles right now. That's why it's jumping all over the place. That plane is behind this fuel truck, which I guess would be defueling the plane right now. There,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
there
what
you
it looks
go.
like.
You can see a couple of the engines there in the background.
I was gonna say, I think that's her tail. Yeah. That's her.
All the way back there. God, it zooms and then it keeps zooming, but you can see a part of the logo there. The Virgin logo just up and to the right of the flammable. It says there. And then two of the engines. Well, 1.5 of the engines. So, again, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. I was gonna. There are just a couple questions. I was gonna grab one, but
yeah, let's grab a couple, and then I think I'll start packing up.
Yeah. Kay with a 5-pound super chat was saying, "What's the advantage of launching a rocket from an aircraft? It doesn't seem like there's much of an altitude or velocity advantage to that." And actually, there is quite an advantage. When they drop launch these things from what is it, Jack? Like roughly 40,000 feet, something like that.
Correct.
Yeah, that's significantly high in the atmosphere to overcome the initial like force that you have to propel yourself against in terms of the air pressure. So saving yourself all of the delta V or that velocity change potential needed to first get you not just to 40,000 feet, but also 40,000 feet with some good horizontal acceleration really does make an air launch system like this for small class orbital vehicles effective, not just from a cost perspective, but from an efficiency perspective for how they operate. And then Mike with a $10 super chat saying, "Thank you, NSF, for all the excellent coverage for all things space. Jack needs a raise." There you go, Jack. Everyone's on your side. Remember that. Which fits in very nicely with this question from Najatan asking, "Forget where's Wally. What we need is where's Jack?" And then this comes with the question: is he going to Starbase for SN15 and then back again to catch NROL 82? I'm not sure what your plans are. I think that's really dependent kind of on what SN15 decides to do, right, Jack?
Yeah, correct. I want to catch SN15. I don't want to miss NROL 82. So it's sort of it's like one of those puzzle games you get where you have one out of it and you can like move them around and you got to get them in the right order. I'm not quite sure how to play out. Obviously, the name of the game with Starship is wait for a good static fire for committing to any kind of travel plans, unless you want to be there for a month like I have been multiple times. So I don't know. I am hoping to thread that needle, but we'll just have to see how that's going to work out. There are only so many Delta Heavy, and I don't know that I would sacrifice a Delta Heavy for SN15. Although if SN15 does happen to be the first one to land, I will be extremely sad if I miss it. But hopefully I don't have to miss it. Hopefully this crazy rocket puzzle will work out and be solvable in some favorable way that doesn't end up that I have to pick one or the other. But it's cool. It's as frustrating as it can be and as stressful as it can be to thread these needles and have schedule problems like this. It's really, really cool that we have so much going on right now, that it's a problem. I mean, I'll take too much over too little. That's
What a good problem to have, I would say.
precisely.
Yeah,
You're right.
good deal. And I think there's one
Very
more
good.
super chat we can get there, Chris, but I know Jack is going to have to be backing up pretty soon here.
Yes, indeed. And the last super chat is from Benjamin Black with $5 saying spare camera battery fund for Jack. Yeah.
Yeah, what I need to do is get a battery grip or something, but they're expensive. But at some point, I'll grab one.
Good deal. Well, Jack, I know you were starting to break down your camera there, and we're still looking at the robot right now. But
Cool.
I do believe we've been asked to start packing up the stuff. Again, to reiterate to everyone, we were standing by. We were all ready to share a flight of the world's largest aircraft, the Rock Stratolaunch system out of Mojave Air and Spaceport. Jack rolled all the way out there and set up both the robot companion, which we're looking at right now, and his own higher zoom tracking camera so that we could see this thing take off and do some maneuvers and land with some other cool stuff in between. But unfortunately, the flight today was scrubbed. You can see it on the screen at the top and bottom. It was not the takeoff weather. The takeoff weather was actually looking quite nice, but they were going to do hours worth of maneuvers and testing, and the landing weather was predicted to rapidly deteriorate. High winds, I think, and they were worried about landing this thing in the high winds, so they scrubbed the takeoff and the testing for today. Jack was saying earlier that there is a chance for it to fly all week, and he himself is trying to balance out covering a rocket launch from Vandenberg, and then covering whatever's happening with SN15 out at Boca Chica. Really quickly, since I know everybody always asks, Michael, what is... Oh, nope, actually, Michael had to go. Sorry. What is our plan for Boca Chica this week? And so I am going to bring up the road closures and tell you what's going on with Boca Chica really quickly. I believe there is, here we go. We still have this little short road closure. So there was a road closure that was longer for a potential static fire, and that was edited by Cameron County there. It's now from noon until 1:30 Central Time. And that says road closure scheduled. Boca Chica will remain open. So the beach staying open, that's just a temporary, like a short road closure. And that usually means that something is probably moving. Not sure if that's going to be a crane or ground service tank or something like that, but something moving out there at Boca Chica. Tomorrow, there is still a closure scheduled noon till 8 p.m. That's a potential static fire. I know that Mary received a notice for today, and then that got scrubbed, where there was the 10-minute siren notice that she gets when there's going to be testing occurring. Non-evacuation testing. I do not believe she's received that for tomorrow, unless that's come in like while we were setting up this stream. But that date is still open. No confirmation a static fire will happen in Boca Chica tomorrow. And then also Wednesday, same story, April 21st there, showing a closure from noon until 8 p.m. Same thing there. The next thing we would wait for is confirmation from Mary that she got that 10-minute siren notice for tomorrow. 420, apparently. April the 20th. Apparently, SpaceX potentially trying to blaze a Raptor, I guess you could say, in the vernacular. But that's what's going on at Boca Chica. If they're just moving something small, we're probably not planning on live streaming that 1 hour closure later today. We'll see exactly what's rolling down the road and exactly what it looks like and make that call. But if they're doing a static fire, we will wait for that confirmation that Mary gets for the 10-minute siren notice the next day, and we would definitely be streaming the static fire. And of course, after we get a good static fire under our belts at Boca Chica, we would plan to stream whatever comes next, whether that's another static fire or a flight of SN15. But Vladimir, there's one more super chat, €5 that came sneaking through there. Don't want to miss you at the end of the stream. But that was our plan for today. We wanted to share this with you and do some technical testing just to make sure in the future we can say, yeah, we can stream from Mojave when cool stuff is going on. and it looks like we've got some fantastic views and a lot less atmosphere to look through than we do at other places we stream from. So, Chris,
What?
I know,
No.
right? Also, Chris, coming up later this week, we've got some other streams that'll be happening, right?
Oh well, we do. So in addition to whatever Starship decides to do this week and when, we also have quite an important crew launch out of Florida on early Thursday morning on the 22nd of April at 6:11 a.m. Eastern, which is 10:11 UTC. We have the launch of the Crew 2 mission up to the International Space Station on the Crew Dragon Endeavour, which is flying for the second time. Never thought I'd get to say that another ship named Endeavour has taken its place at 39A, but here we
Nice.
are 10 years later. Quite happy about that. But yes, so that one is coming up, and we will have a marathon stream starting very early Thursday morning Eastern time in the United States and running out through launch there a couple hours. I don't believe we have internally quite decided yet. I think we're deciding our go live time in our meeting this afternoon. But yeah, it'll be another marathon stream. So do plan to hang out and join us for the launch of Shane, Megan, Toma, and Koichi up to Aki Hoshide up to the International Space Station on Thursday morning.
Excellent. So we will definitely be covering that as well. We would not miss the crew launch there. But for now, I do know that Jack is going to need to bring in the robot here as well. So we will be shutting down the live video feed from Mojave Air and Spaceport out there in California. Big plane you see on the screen, that's the Rock. That is the Stratolaunch system. The the largest plane in the world by wingspan is what I understand as this thing is. And we were hoping to see it fly. Did not work out today. Good technical check, though. Look forward to covering more things happening at Mojave Air and Spaceport. Clearly, a lot of plane activity there. Or we could just turn on a 24/7 view of a boneyard filled with 747s if anybody's into that. Let us know. That could be something that could be arranged. But, Chris, I think for now, we are going to go ahead and shut down this stream.
Yes.
I know that Jack was packing up. So I don't know if we'll get Jack back on comms or not, but massive thanks to Jack again for rolling out this morning just as we went live or just as we publicized the stream and started tweeting about it. That's when we started to hear the rumblings of the weather scrubbing the whole thing. Decided to go live anyways since we tweeted about it and since we had already listed the stream as public instead of going with the experimental option. We figured we'd just hang out with y'all for 45 minutes, an hour. So I guess we've been live for 55 minutes here with the live views from Mojave Air and Spaceport. But
Yeah,
Jack, there you go.
So much, Josh. Thanks everybody for watching. Understanding that test program starts. They can't exactly fly when get the vehicle tested officially.
Yeah. Jack, we're starting to lose you a little bit there. I don't know if you're behind a building or losing signal or something. We heard you about getting it tested though.
Cool. All right. Well,
I will.
Thanks everybody.
Yeah, I'll say from everybody in chat, Jack, thank you so much for rolling out today to make this possible and bringing the robot friend with you so we would have had multiple camera angles of that launch if it happened. We're going to have to play it by ear, folks, depending on when this test occurs, depending on when that Delta IV Heavy launches out of Vandenberg, and depending on what Starship SN15 does. There's a lot of stuff that Jack specifically wants to cover, and we're going to play by ear exactly where Jack ends up. But maybe we'll see this fly on the NASA Spaceflight channel. Maybe we'll see a Delta IV go on the NASA Spaceflight channel. Maybe we'll, well, I mean, no maybes about Boca Chica. You will definitely see whatever happens at Boca Chica on the channel here. But Jack, thank you so much for rolling out today. Chris, thank you as well for hopping in and helping with some of the questions here.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Because speaking of a Delta IV, that's the article I now get to go edit.
Ah, good times.
Yes. If you want to know all about the pad upgrades they did after the NRO4 campaign, we got you covered.
Excellent. So one of the many things we do, it's not just live video coverage. It's not just recorded videos like we do from Boca Chica all the time. There's articles, there's forums. NASA Spaceflight does a ton of different things. If you're on YouTube, you may just know about the videos and VODs that we do on a regular basis, the live streams and VODs, but articles as well. I'm sure if you follow Chris on Twitter at ChrisG_NSF on Twitter, you can see that article as soon as it comes out, right, Chris?
Indeed, you can. Yeah, it'll be out in about 3-ish hours.
All right. Good deal. We also had Michael Beyer on. He had a meeting that he had to go to a couple minutes ago there. So Michael Beyer hopping in to help make the stream happen as well. And then from the NASA Spaceflight live stream control, my name is John Galloway over here. I've got to go play with some solar panels. We are running some tests on some upgrades to our long duration robotic cameras. And I've got to go get out on the back deck and see what the watts and volts are looking like. So for now, yeah, look, as the fuel truck drives away from the rock, we will go ahead and shut down the live stream. Again, if you like this sort of stuff, even when we don't get to see something here, we were hoping to see this fly. If you want to make sure you catch that Crew 2 coverage with our live commentary, you want to make sure you don't miss anything at Boca Chica, make sure you sub to the channel here. Click on the little thing. If you're over on Twitch, you know how to follow a channel. It's the little button that you click. It's just click it. But for now, NASA Spaceflight team is going to go ahead and shut down this live stream from Mojave Air and Spaceport in California, and we will see you nerds later. Thanks a lot for showing up, y'all. We'll see you next time.
Chamber pressure looks good. Following up. Roger, roll, planet. Water towers fly! Flight downside of speed off. Off. Yikes. You bet. Concur. We don't need any more of these.